What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about SwiftCoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it, my friends. Here we are, sitting at about 2.44 cents right now on this, the 10th of February. 19 hours, 6 minutes left in the day. Very, very early hours in the day here. We got a little bit of a red close down yesterday, 6.8% to the downside. That's fair. That's fine. Looking at this daily time frame, we did have a nice bounce off the 50. That was a really good look, you guys, but it did not persist. Okay, generally speaking, whenever you bounce off the 50, you want it to persist. If it doesn't persist, that could mean that you go lower, right? Let's see. I mean, there's times where here, like if you reject off the 50, you would expect to go lower, but you didn't persist, so you'd expect to go higher, but you got the double rejection. We could get a double bottom here, find support, and then go higher. It's very possible, and I don't want to dox that. I don't want to say that it's impossible to move up, but I am expecting that we move down. I want to look at some shorter term time frames and just see if that's implied there as well, right? Looking at the 1 hour RSI, I think it's actually, I mean, yes, it doesn't look good, but it's doing something different now, right? You got overbought, pretty overbought, and you're not getting oversold. Although right now you do have lower highs and lower lows. Trends like this normally don't end until you see the oversold zone. Normally being the key word. Because there's times where you can have a downward trend in the RSI and it does end somewhere that's not in the oversold zone and you begin anew. But the 1 hour does suggest to me that you would go lower, at least. The 4 hour time frame also would be suggestive that you go lower. So coming into the daily time frame with my initial thought that you would go lower, I think it makes sense. So let's assume that SwiftCoin does move lower. Let's identify where it could go if it does move lower. So I want to take this high here, this high from all the way back in March of 2024, about a year ago, to the low that we have here in August. High to low, you pulled all the way up to your 2272 found resistance right there, and you've pulled all the way down to your 1618 golden ratio. That's actually normally what you would see. If you find resistance here, you normally would find support at the 1618. So let's zoom back in on this on the daily time frame and just see. I really like that. I really like that a lot. If you were to go lower, I suppose the lowest I could see you going would be this 14141272 area, which is about 1.57 cents to 1.3 cents, somewhere in that zone. I could see you doing that. It's possible. I don't think you do. I don't think you do that. I actually think that you hold this 1618 as support, and I think you actually find a higher low relative to this. I think it'll be a kind of higher low trend that you have here, maybe some kind of triangle even. I don't know. But if you were to go lower than the 1618, I'm just letting you guys know right now, if you go below the 1618, at least too much below it, below 2 cents there, you likely won't stop until 1.57, if not all the way down to 1.3, something down in that range. Okay, that's if you don't hold the orange line here. I do think that you will hold the orange line, but it's just something that we should address as a possibility. But lower nonetheless, right? Lower nonetheless. I like the 1 hour, right? The 1 hour time frame here. Again, you're in this downtrend. It is suggested that you're near the end of it. Once you get into the oversold zone, you're at the end. Being on the 1 hour time frame, this would suggest that either today, tomorrow, probably not even tomorrow, sometime today or very, very early tomorrow, you would see the oversold zone. You'd see the end of this downtrend, and thus beginning your breakout of the downtrend. Being on the 1 hour time frame and being so close to the oversold zone, I can't see this thing getting below the 1618. So I think targets below 2 cents are off the table. I think it's safe to say they're off the table. I do want to take this relative low to high here. Super small time frames, man. I like that, yeah. 2.2 cents. 2.2 to 2.1 cents is where I think you're going to go. You're at 2.4 cents now, so you're very close, but I think you go a little bit lower. That's kind of like SwiftCoin, or not SwiftCoin, XCN. I think it's going to go to 2.2 to 2.1 as well, maybe 2.3. And of course, SwiftCoin could stop at any point. It doesn't have to go all the way down as low as I'm thinking it's going to go. And I say all the way down; it's not that low, but and you could just find support here and move up. But I think that you go a little bit lower first and then move up. I think today, Monday, closes red, right? It's the beginning of your new week. I think today closes red, and then wow. And then starting tomorrow, going to the end of the week, I think that you'll move up. I'm only saying wow because I'm going back to my original thought where you would go lower here. If you were to go lower, a reading like that in the RSI, you would be below this 1618. And then you would at least go down to 1.5, if not 1.2, 1.3 cents. I want to say I'm not saying I think you go down here. I just want that to be on the radar. I want to see tomorrow. I want to see how today closes, and then I want to see tomorrow. I want to look at the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame, because if today closes the way that I think it's going to close, you actually might get a bounce. You might get a double bottom right off this 50. You might get that, and it might actually go higher. Kind of like you had a double top here on your 50 right there, right? You might have the same thing here, and that'd be really bullish, man. It's definitely really bullish. It's very bullish whenever you have just one bounce and you go all the way up, right? Just like this, that was really bullish. We look at the price action and we see what followed there, right? You bounced right here. That was the bounce off the 50 on the RSI. You had an immaculate move up afterwards. It's very bullish when you get one bounce, but it's just as bullish when you get two, man. I think it's fine. Some people might be asking, what about the head and shoulders pattern? I don't know if some people are saying that or not, but left shoulder here, head, right shoulder over here, right? Something like that. It's not a head and shoulders pattern. I don't think it is at all. It's a weird, man, it's a very weird head and shoulders pattern, right? This shoulder's up so high. It would be slanted. Could it be a slanted head and shoulders pattern? I suppose it could be. If it were, though, your lower shoulder, you'd have to come down, right? This shoulder, something's wrong with this shoulder if it is. The volume profile is right, but I don't think it's a head and shoulders pattern. And oftentimes when you get patterns that look like a bearish pattern, but they don't fit the bill quite right, it throws people off. It makes people think that it's going to go down, but really it's about to go up. So this to me actually looks more bullish than it does bearish. You're still finding higher lows. The 4 hour RSI again is suggested that you go lower, but you did break out of this momentary downtrend here. Going lower here, forming a higher low, would only be suggested that you might be starting a new uptrend in the 4 hour RSI, which means to me on the 4 hour basis here that over the coming days you will likely start to progress higher. I think this week right now, 6 days, 19 hours left, you're down 2.4% already. I think this week will close green. I think it closes green, and potentially, if not this week, then I would think next week, certainly by the end of this month, you'll be at new all-time highs. You'll be reaching for new all-time highs. So let's see high to low here. If it'll let me, there we go. Your next target is 7.8 cents. After that, you got 11.3 to 15.3 cents. You could go higher all the way up to 30 cents. Let's keep our feet on the ground for now. These are some pretty deep extensions to hit, right? You stopped at a deep extension in itself, so I do think you've got some oomph, some reasons to go up here. I personally think a 7.87 cents minimum target is fine. But likely, SwiftCoin, you probably don't stop until you see about 11.3 cents to 15.3 cents, somewhere in that zone. That's my genuine opinion as to where you go. I don't know if I have anything else that I want to say. Yeah, I think I've said everything that I need to say. So hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We're down 39% right now on the month, but I do suspect that by the end of this month, SwiftCoin will either be neutral to the green side, we'll have some kind of bullish doji, dragonfly doji looking candle, or we might be slightly to the red, oh so slightly to the red, just enough to get this, if it would let me blow it up here, this monthly RSI to set you up in a position where you'd be bouncing right off the overbought zone. So if this month does close red for SwiftCoin, March is going to be the month that's green. March will be the month that you likely do see prices that are dramatically higher. I do suspect that we're at new all-time highs by the end of this month, but by the end of this move, sorry, I shouldn't say I expect we'll be at new all-time highs. I suspect that we could be at new all-time highs by the end of this month. If not, maybe slightly lower still, but around that area nonetheless. Certainly, though, by the end of March, I would suspect we're at new all-time highs, something that is likely like 3 times, if not more times, higher than the current price now. So that's all I got for you guys. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.